All right, Rob, as the hiring leader for the UPS field service technician roles located in Des Moines, Iowa, and the Dallas, Texas areas, I think it's important that we learn about you as the leader. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you to this moment at Scalar Services?
Absolutely, Justin. Thanks. My name's Rob Bromley. I was in the Navy for 8 years in the 2010s, Navy nuke on board submarines. When I got out of the Navy, I was picked up by Eaton to be a field service technician on UPSs at Eaton. In 2021, I was approached by Nathan Gibson, the owner of Scalar Services, and his desire was to build a UPS field service company from the ground up. He also owned a rep firm that repped UPS lines as well as other manufacturers, but he wanted to build the service side of that as well. I was brought in as both the first technician as well as the intent was for me to build a team throughout the Pacific Northwest and for us to grow organically, starting in Oregon and then branching out. We're currently doing that in Oregon and Washington. We have hundreds of UPSs under contract, and we rep a manufacturer of UPS that is currently in a position where they don't have enough technicians for their needs throughout the country. So we are being given an opportunity to not only continue to grow organically in the Pacific Northwest and beyond, but also branch out and start hiring in specific locations that the manufacturer needs us and assist them with startup and commissioning of large data centers, starting in Des Moines and Dallas, but continuing on throughout the country. And then from there, the idea would be to place additional salesmen and service leaders in those regions to start growing those areas out organically. These roles in Dallas and Des Moines are essentially a staff aug to start. So you are employed by Scalar Services and interacting with customers that are the manufacturer's customers and working directly with the manufacturer and myself to complete startups and commissioning in Des Moines, Dallas, Fort Worth. There's going to be some travel, but not a lot of travel. The idea here is to employ individuals that are close to where the manufacturer
Mm.
does.
Yeah, I think that's the big difference, right? Is a lot of these positions, if you're in this industry now, you're flying all over the country. And so you're spending just as much time doing your job, traveling as you are doing your job. And this is better where you're spending more time at home, you're traveling regionally. Also, for me, what I like too is you mentioned, hey, Services is a newer, younger company that's on the move. And I like it because of the culture, right? You and Nate are doing something here where you're treating people like treat people and you're investing in people. One of the big parts of that is the compensation for the role. Can you walk through that kind of? So it's going to be a base salary, right? Or is it going to be hourly?
Correct. It is going to be a straight base salary to start. So you're going to know what your pay is going to be every single week, but we are intentionally paying above market that would equate to the standard market if you were working base salary plus overtime, approximately 60 hours a week. So we want to put everybody in a good level playing field without making them work a massive amount of time in order to be able to live comfortably. But again, we also wanted to go above and beyond and make sure that our technicians feel like they're really a part of the team. On the company vehicle and your home office setup and your company credit card to use on tools and equipment you need, you're also going to have the opportunity as a technician within the first 12 to 18 months to be a part of what we call the bonus pool or phantom stock program of Scalar Services. Everybody that is beyond the most junior level at Scalar is a part of this bonus pool program. And what it does is it allows for everybody to participate in the spoils of Scalar. We all win together, we all lose together. So if everybody's working as hard as they possibly can, it's going to result in that bonus pool being bigger and everybody's going to get some chunk of that bonus. Even the owner is attached to this. So as we bring in more people, we all become slightly more diluted, but then those people are more productive, making that bonus pool larger, and then we all win.
And that's what I like too, is that it's shared. Everybody's sharing in the success of the organization and with tenure, because and you'll learn this as you go through the interview process and you'll totally understand the compensation before you make a decision on an offer. But the longer you're there, the more that all comes together and increases your compensation. So it really is a long-term partnership here, working with Scalar services. And also the joke, right? What do you do when there's a bunch of E4s around? And you need 5 to supervise them. So as the groups are growing in Des Moines and in Dallas, you're going to need lead techs. You're going to need supervisors, right? You already mentioned that you're going to have sales guys. Hey, maybe somebody turns into the sales guy for Des Moines. There's so many opportunity when you're that one planting the flag in that location like you did, right? In Oregon, you planted the flag and now it's growing. And now we're growing the next one. And so for me, from knowing the organization, I think that culture is so important to you all, that you want to have a good human first, that's a good teammate and cares, number one, and then has that communication style to give the customer service to both the client, the manufacturer, and Scalar teammates. Then on the technical side, what are you looking for? I know, hey, if somebody knows UPSs and has worked on it, amazing. But if somebody's transitioning right out of the military and they're watching this video, what makes them a safe applicant?
I would say someone that's got a good basic understanding of electrical, mechanical equipment. It's something that can really be learned on the job for the most part, as long as you're dedicated and willing to put in the time to learn schematics and learn how to read schematics and learn how to troubleshoot the equipment we're going to be in front of. UPSs as a whole, it's pretty easy once you really learn the base of a UPS. It translates into every other manufacturer of UPS as well, with all of them having their own little tweaks. So the capability of reading schematics and really being able to troubleshoot is something that I've seen is learned in time, but having that adaptability and willingness to learn that is really the key. What's really interesting about this as well is the manufacturer is also in need of mechanical thinking type of technicians as well. They also, in addition to UPSs, are selling a large amount of essentially cooling units and everything shifting to liquid cooling for all of these large data centers and massive AI racks. And so there's going to be the opportunity to not only work on UPSs, but also if you have that desire and you have that will to learn this new thing, we may be able to also shift some of that focus to performing startups and preventative maintenance on these mechanical cooling units as well.
Yeah, it's good. Yep. I've seen those things are huge too. Some of them. Okay, so it's a go-getter that wants to learn, self-starter, that, hey, you've got to have that electrical baseline of wiring, schematics, diagrams, understanding that. But outside of that, attitude wins.
Correct.
Attitude wins. And okay, is there anything you wanted to get across about Scalar, about this growth plan that we haven't talked about yet?
I would say our biggest thing that we're learning right now is we don't know what we don't know. Come into this with an open mind and a willingness to learn, adapt, and grow with us, because this is something that nobody on this team has done before. And there's going to be things that we miss and things that we trip up on and we've got to recover from. But again, it goes back to that whole concept of a straight salary. If I have messed up and not gotten you scheduled in a specific location for the week and now you're at home, well, that's not that big of a deal because you're getting that guaranteed paycheck no matter what. You could shift your focus into studying and learning something else in the background while we are continuing to adapt and grow. The manufacturer, ironically, they're one of the most junior UPS manufacturers in the country, but they've been selling UPSs for 30 years throughout the world. And so they're also learning their own processes and trying to figure things out as well, which is why they're in the position that they're in right now. They sold tons of units and didn't think about the tech side until it was too late.
Yeah.
So there's going to be growth things that we all just need to be patient with and learn together.
Oh, it's if you're okay with that, was that Colin Powell? You've got to be comfortable operating with 70% of the information, that, and if you're good with that and understand you're building something and you're creating something, and this is the opportunity to have a real career where you have these opportunities to flux, right? That's where cream rises to the top. And so that's what I like about this. But hey, if you want to be 9 to 5 and you want to have your trip ticket filled out on Friday that you know what you're doing next week, this probably isn't the job for you. But if you're okay with that growth and that chaos that comes with it, that little bit of vibrations, because you know you're building something bigger and you want to be treated like a human and be paid for it, there's no better place.
And understand, if you come in now and you help us with the building, like, you're going to be in here early. So think about what happens when you really start to explode. So you could also have a say in some of the processes and procedures that become our mandatory or standard procedure 12 months from now. And we're talking short term. It's not going to take us forever to figure this out, but it is a brand new thing for us that we're directly in the middle of figuring.
Yeah. Hey, and that's it. High performers want to be challenged. I don't want to go the same thing where everything's running perfectly. It gets boring. Come in there and let's roll our sleeves up, get dirty, and in a few months, look back at what we accomplished. All right. Hey, I'm going to get this out to the veteran job seekers. We'll start delivering the right humans to you as soon as we find them. But hey, just thanks again for everything. And I'm so excited to watch this growth.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Justin. Really appreciate your help on this.